Welcome, everybody, to the World of Ability Podcast Network. My name is Emily Comer and am a podcast engineer assistant here. I'm excited to bring you another episode of the World of Ability, which we do here every Saturday at 1 o'clock Central. And I'd love to have all of you come on as a guest. So if you are interested, to please let us know. And I see we have one of our good friends here today. We met through the Happy Neighborhood Project. Jean Costa. I'm gonna bring her in here.
Hello.
Welcome, Jean.
Hi, Emily. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. And thanks for having me on your podcast.
Hey, you're welcome. Anytime.
Awesome.
So how about, go ahead.
No, I see Sue here and Kurt here as well. So just say hi to them as well.
Oh, okay. So I was just saying that we met you through the full Happy Neighborhood Project. And you're out of wonderful country of Canada. And so just to our north here. So I do like next leadership and some other things. So why don't you everybody remind everybody about like who you are, what you do, that kind of
Excellent.
thing. So kick us off here.
Awesome. Thank you for the opportunity. First of all, thank you. It's my honor to be here amongst your audience. And I know they're all growth-minded audiences. Otherwise, they wouldn't be listening to the podcast whenever they
Right.
listen to it. A bit of background about myself. I've been in the financial space for about 20 plus years. And in the last 8 years, and I moved to be a leadership coach. One of the things that this helped me do is it helped me get independent, helped me be the leader that I wanted to be for this in the subject that I wanted it to be, helped me be a leader for my tribe, and also helped me to blend my financial world and my coaching business. So right now I do lending in Canada. That's part of my financial experience. I also lead a team. That's my business. But it has helped me be a better leader, better speaker. And then I'm also part of the Maxwell leadership team. So what I do is I coach people who are stuck in a rut. Usually, that's my favorite audience. They know they want to grow. They know the growth is calling them, but they don't know how to do it. And that's where I come in, and that's how I've helped my client, whether they're past doctors, whether they're youth, whether they're seniors. There is no, perfect age limit. It's whoever feels that they're called for more, usually benefits from, the self-leadership message that I have through, change your outcomes. That's a little bit about me, what I do. And just a little more, Emily, you know what? When I was working for a corporate in one of the largest banks here, I made millions of dollars in sales for the company each year. And I realized as my client said yes to me and to the business I was providing, I wasn't saying yes to myself. Like growth was calling me. And I was so afraid to say yes because, so many comfort zones that we'd established. And of course, some of the growth traps that I'm going to talk about, in my upcoming masterclass. So those growth traps kind of, stop me from going ahead. That's when I realized, no. I really had to look into this and take life a little more in my hands. And that's my story. And that's how Change Your Outcomes was born. And once again, thank you for having me here.
Yeah, your growth is so important. Not sure, maybe you're so touched on this, but like what intrigued you or inspired you, or how did you get into doing this? I guess maybe you sort of said it a little bit, but can you expand a little bit how you got it
Of
to it or
course,
what?
of course. I thank you for asking that. I was pretty tenured in my organization. I'd been there in that role and then moved up as promoted in that role for about 13 plus years. And then, John Maxwell said in one of his books, if you think you're following, but if you think you're leading, but nobody's following you, when you look back and really nobody's following you, then you're taking a walk in the park. And pretty much that was my scenario. I'm like, if I'm not part of this organization, I'm not part of, my role. Who am I? What message do I have to give? And that's my story. I couldn't see myself retiring in that same job, in that same role, doing that work till I was, 65. I'm like, that's not me. That's not my life's calling. That's not my inspiration. I enjoyed the work, mind you, but that's a bit of my story. So it was that wake up call as part of my leadership, journey. Those were some of the, questions I delved into, and I realized who I was calling to impact. Yes, I was great at finances, but that was not my, I like to do that once in a way, but that was not my life's purpose, life's calling. My life's calling was really to have people look into themselves, recognize how unique they are, and have that courage to step out to do more, have the confidence to step out to do more because they're designed already uniquely. I mean, the work is done. They just have to recognize it. And I help them recognize their uniqueness. So that's a little bit about what started my journey, understanding that, look, if I was to leave my organization, my impact was nil. And then I really wanted to make that impact. So that's how I started.
Um, what kind of what kind of drew you to like the all like Maxwell side of things, like the Maxwell leadership?
Yes. Some of you might be people of persons of faith. They like to say that in the US. Uh, I'm a Catholic. But one of the things that drew me to Maxwell Leadership was he was initially a pastor. Full disclosure, he was initially a pastor, but he moved secular. By secular, I mean that his principles were very generic. They were very human based. They were very growth oriented based. So they were not like meant for only a particular pocket or a particular tribe. Now, secularity is important to me because you may or may not know, part of my background is being from India. And I can guarantee you, in India, there are not that many Christians. I mean, 70% of the population is Hindu. My mom was from a mixed religious background. My mother-in-law was from a mixed religious background. So having content that really resonates with the whole of humanity rather than just one particular, niche or one particular corner was really important to me. And then when I read his books were all, his principles were values based. So all of us as humans, we have certain values that drive us, that we live by. If those values are not met, my personally, we usually don't enjoy that environment. We don't thrive in that environment. So because his all of his Maxwell leadership works were based on values, based on secular values, that really, really struck my heart. And that's how I decided to join the Maxwell leadership team.
Interesting. Um, so, um, so how long have you been doing like what you're doing? So I know you've done like a little bit in like real estate and stuff too, but how long
I've
have
been a
you?
great question. As a leadership coach, I've been a leadership coach for the past 8 years, soon to be 9 years right now.
Okay.
And yes, and in leadership, there are three steps. There is a first step when you delve into yourself, you grow yourself. Once you know yourself fully, you grow yourself, then you start growing your team. There are 5 levels of leadership, right? Initially, people listen to you because, you're just a manager. Whether they like it or not, they have to listen to you. Then they start listening to you because you inspire them, the kind of impact that you drive, the kind of life that you lead, and they're drawn to that. And then the next step is when not only because the impact you drive, but it's and the tribe that you lead, but impact of the larger reaching impact that you can do across the industry. So there are many levels of leadership. Clearly, I wanted to be, beyond the first one where people just listen to you because, you're put in front of them. You've been by as a manager, you're put in front of them. So I wanted to be beyond that, just designated leadership to an inspiring leadership. Did I answer your question? I think I went off tangent. What?
I think maybe a little bit, yeah. Um, so I just want to say, Kurt, are you there at all? Or are you
Yes.
multitasking?
Oh, just to zero in on your Emily, yes.
Right.
So I've been here for 9 years, but leadership, I was just sharing, is a path that, doesn't stop at year one. It's not like a certificate that you get and then it's there for lifelong. Life circumstances will always give you something new, right? A new environment, a new challenge, personal, professional. So it's always how we think and we lead ourselves before we lead others. That is inspiring. So leadership is a never ending journey. Never ending journey, first for yourself and the satisfaction, and then the impact that you drive. So to answer your question, I've been here 9 years, but it doesn't stop. It just gets better.
Yeah, right. It's just when I think Kurt unmuted. Kurt, do you have any questions or anything for Jean at the moment?
Um, Emily, what we can do here is we can kind of illustrate, leadership and what we're doing here. Jean, thanks for saying hi earlier. I could say hi back. So Emily, you're hearing Jean, you know,
Kurt froze. Something in here.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, thank you for coming on. But yeah, this is awesome, I think. Oh, go ahead, Kurt. Yeah, you froze for a minute there, Kurt.
all right, so Emily, I just wanted to get your reflection on this. I've been working with you for 4.5 years. We were out on H&P weekend earlier today with some of our leaders from the Happy Neighborhood Project, like Jean is a leader at H&P, Happy Neighborhood Project, Happy Business Networking. Emily, what is your journey in leadership? What does it look like?
Uh, um, good question. I mean, I know I've well, just talking about Happy Neighborhood Project. Yeah, I've been a co-host for the last like 4 years. So it's a little bit of a leadership thing there. And well, it's been great. And so as there's clear where I was going with that. So what exactly are we looking? Does that sort of answer your question, Kurt? Unless
Well, Emily, you've had different occupational experiences before you got into doing this live streaming and podcasting, and doing for 4 years that Happy Neighborhood Project co-hosting, like Gene and I do as well. Something is going on in your life, Emily, in terms of
like yeah, well, there's the leadership thing with running all the podcasts and that kind of thing. Yeah, helping with all of the getting new ones started and so on.
I know. I know you were a little humble there when you said that, but I know the amount of podcasts you run and you keep the ship going. That's a feat in itself, and getting everybody organized and reaching out to your tribe who can hear this and benefit from this. Uh, that is huge, Emily. And then I didn't hear that from you. So sometimes, we fail to give ourselves that recognition that we are doing so much more for, the people that mean a lot to us, right? I think Kurt froze,
Yeah,
so hopefully he's able to come
yeah,
back soon.
yeah, comes back here.
Yeah. On that note, Emily, I just wanted to mention that for your listeners, that I'm running a free masterclass on Friday, at 10 o'clock, Friday the 24th at 10 o'clock. So I love to share the link to any of your listeners who want to come in. It's going to be a 90-minute masterclass. Trust me, you will gain a lot from it. But I can share about it in a moment. We have Kurt. Hi, Kurt. Welcome back.
Yeah, and so that's because it's 10 o'clock Eastern.
That's
For
correct.
everybody, and
Yes.
9 o'clock Central, to make sure everybody's aware.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, Jean was mentioning something about her master class next week.
Sorry, Kurt, I was just filling in till you came back. I know you were asking Emily something, so go ahead.
Yeah, so Emily, I didn't really catch like to look at Jean's background, change your outcomes, and to look at, she also says in the bottom there, quicker wins and turnarounds. So Emily, what are you wanting to see this year in your outcomes and wins and turnarounds, vibrational clarity, with what you see Jean is doing, how does that apply to your life right now, Emily?
Oh boy. Those hard questions. I have to think. Well, just more with all the different I guess maybe more collaboration or meeting new people or collaboration or more what's the word? More like engagement and stuff for the podcast. Just kind of her whole thing about like growing in different things and maybe more of a leadership capacity or something kind of, yeah. I don't know if that totally answers your question, Heard.
Well, Emily, as you started to speak to that, you're experiencing that it's a little difficult to think it through and then to think about explaining it to anyone else. What questions would you have for Jean, Emily, that might be in the direction of how the Maxwell leadership realm can be very helpful for you right now, thinking of doing podcasting and co-hosting at HMP and helping run an annual event and all the things you do. What questions do you have for Jean in terms of how she does what she does and get you thinking more about how you can benefit from the value she brings into this podcast right now?
So Jim, when you meet with clients, like what does that look like? What do you like take like somebody through like the different steps or anything like that? If that makes sense.
Such a great and insightful question, Emily, truly insightful. You know, the teacher appears when there's a saying that goes, the teacher appears when the student is ready.
Right.
So for my clients who are asking for that growth, right, they first have that, gnawing feeling inside of them, that empty gap that they want to grow and they're feeling that gap, Uh, in the Maxwell leadership, we talk about the law of the rubber band. When you want to grow and sometimes you don't know how to take that step, those steps, how the steps are going to fill in between, you start feeling that tension. And the tension is good because the tension tells you you have set your heart up higher. Now you just have to figure out how to get from point A to point B. And that is the growth we're talking about. So for most of my clients, right, they realize that they're not there. They realize that tension, and some of them with the tension, they just give off. They're not my clients because uh, if they give up, they're not my clients. For those who are not willing to give up, they're saying, I recognize the tension, but there's something more I want to do. How can I do that, right? That's when they become my clients. But even before that, there is a whole bunch of introspection that goes on. Okay, what does growth look like to me? Is it number of clients? Is it number of people on the podcast? I'm going to use your reference. Is it number of people signing up for the podcast? Is it number of people listening to the podcast increasing? And then to have steps like what it would look like for them. What does my show mean to them? What does I want my show to mean to them? So as soon as you'll always hear, you must have come across the statement, but if not, I came across the statement earlier on in my life saying good leaders ask great questions. I'm like, I was a person sometimes who was very shy, I hated confrontation. And sometimes asking questions meant I was being a little confrontational. And I realized, no, that's not the case. Just as Kurt, brought out some questions right now, those questions resonated with us. That means somewhere there is an answer waiting to birth, right? It all comes inside of us. Trust me, there is no solution outside. So once we take that step back and say, for things that are meaningful to us, like, okay, I'm running this podcast. What would it mean if this podcast audience was, say, 4 times what I started 2025 with at the end, right? What would it mean to me? Would I feel happy? Would I feel joyful? Um, what would it mean if I had some of the best quality speakers? So that also ups my audience engagement. What would it mean again? So when you start answering these questions, you start asking these questions, the universe, people call it God, call it universe, call it your inner guidance, that's attached to you all the time. It starts providing the answers. This is what your answer looks like. These are what your speakers could look like. This is what the engagement will make you feel. Once you have this process of asking questions and answers, then you're able to carve out a path like usually naturally appears, and you're able to see how you get from point A to point B. A lot of times it is just being in the vicinity of the answers. To my clients, I always talk about just being ready, just being ready for the answers. And sometimes I'm going to go in a little woo-woo section here, being in a most non-resistant place. Usually a non-resistant place is, sometimes you're having your morning tea and you love it. Sometimes you're in the shower. Sometimes you're just taking a walk by yourself and you're enjoying that presence. There's not much noise around and you get your answers. So I often say the answers are just from your inner wiser self. But usually when we place ourselves in a zone wherein we do not have much noise around, the answers from our inner wiser self, are louder and clearer. And 9 out of 10 times, if we act on that, you'll never fail, right? So that's one of the things I talk about is self-inspiration. The inspiration is inside of you. Self-inspiration and then self-leadership, right? When you know what you're asking, the answers seem right to you. They'll only seem right when you specified your question. And when you specified your question, you specified your answer, and then the goal becomes clearer, more achievable. So to go back on to Kurt's question, what does ending 2025 feel like, right? Whatever it mean for you in the growth in the podcast, what does it feel like? And just answering that, what does it feel like, is such a great place to start. So some of the things, just a quick takeaway for you and for my listeners would be, in a non-resistant place, when you have a bit of quiet time. I often like weekends because weekends are not, crowded with many commitments. So it is easy to take like an hour, snatch an hour away for ourselves, hour or two, and go back in a non-resistant place, a beautiful place, maybe a space in your house that doesn't scream for attention, like, oh, I need to clean, this needs to clean, that needs to get, grocery needs to be done. Or go to the library, somewhere where, things are not screaming at you for attention. And then you're able to pen down these questions and let the answers come in, right? Once the answers come in, you're seeing a clear roadmap of what you would like to see achieved. Often what seems logical, like you verbalize what is logical, and what you really want true inside your heart could be two different things. But you've not had the courage to really examine what's inside your heart and really let that flow out. So that is the process of questioning that I take my clients through. But you don't have to wait to be my client. I was mentioning a masterclass that I'm doing, and the masterclass this Friday is on gaps to growth. So often we are called to grow as a mom, as a dad, as somebody who's been a survivor from the war, as somebody who survived disabilities. Uh, Growth is very inclusive. The call to grow and be more than who you are is very, very inclusive. We have our unique challenges that help us carve out our unique stories. And if you feel the call inside of you, that means you are called to be better, bigger, and stand out and say a story. Be there for your tribe as a guide for so many others. So that is the call to growth. So, like I said, if you'd like, come and join my masterclass. It's on Eastern Time, 10 o'clock on Friday. It's a 90-minute masterclass, warn you. So come ready with your pen and note paper because you're going to dig into yourself. We're going to discuss the gaps to growth. And possibly that is somewhere where you will be able to delve into what does 2025 ending look like to you? I know it seems like, oh, we're jumping right in, but life is growth. My mom at 75, she tells me, Jean, I sometimes just want to meditate and not do anything. And I remind her, Mom, being alive means always there'll be the desire to do more. If we didn't have the desire to do more, we'd be dead. So if you have the desire to do more, you're alive and kicking. And we want to celebrate that. So if you want to celebrate some call of growth inside of you, then, that's a great place to start, to go to a place where you can be non-resistant, ask those questions, and receive those answers. That was a long answer to what you were asking, Emily, but I'm going to give the mic back to you.
No worries, that was awesome. That's good advice. Thank you, but I see we have a couple of our other friends here that we went through the Happy Neighborhood Project. So we have Mr. Harleen, who's joined us, and as well as Mariana Waikiki. So welcome, guys. How are you guys today?
Oh my, I'm doing fine. I'm really busy. I'm working on final preparations for an art exhibit and a book that goes along with that art exhibit for the title is Brain Reconnected. It has to do with brain injuries, art and short stories and poetry by and for people with brain injuries. And yeah, everything that's being contributed to it is people with brain injuries, their experiences and stuff.
Awesome. That sounds exciting. So,
It's nerve-wracking. There's a lot to do to get ready, and it starts in 6 weeks.
oh wait, I was gonna ask when's this art exhibit, but okay, 6 weeks. That's awesome. So hi, Marianne. You're there?
Well, hi, Emily. Thank you for hosting every Saturday the World of Ability podcast. I'm Marianne Ambrose. I go by Marianne of Waikiki. I'm the author and Apple game developer of the Acts of Kindness series, featuring 200 folk manus puppets. My books are written for animation movies with sign language characters and a soundtrack by Lucy Lynch and The Perfect Wave. And 2025, we're launching our fourth book, Cool Acts of Kindness, partnering with Leon McLaughlin, a regular guest with Clean Water Foundation, who brings water units worldwide. And we have created the new logos on the back of the book and the YouTube channel with the signing characters to learn the ASL fingerspelling alphabet. And we'll be ready to launch this on World Water Day with a free e-load download book for the world. And the character in this book is Waterflow the whale for the love of water. And it's kind of a short story about at a camp on the Big Island with children learning about water. And we have Lucy Lynch come in and sing, and we introduce about 10 more new characters. And I've created additional videos for Leon to present this to the United Nations. Last month, we also applied for the Kindness is Cool campaign from the Ging Gang World. We have the opportunity to win $10,000 or $500 or $100 as we applied, but we uploaded it. And how ironic, we have the book Cool Acts of Kindness for Kindness is Cool campaign, and we could win a New York billboard. So we have been creatively working, and next week we'll be editing with my writer and Lori Barth, our editor in Hawaii. And I'm just really excited to make this happen. We have t-shirts. There's Leon with Waterflow the Whale, the puppet there. And this summer, I applied for the Awesome Grant Foundation, and I won $1,000, and we gifted the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind during October Anti-Bullying Month copies of the books and coloring books, which I just received, and they are just absolutely gorgeous. I love them. They're a little bit shorter size than the original book, but they teach the 26 letters of the alphabet with Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab, Chelsea, the courageous sign language chicken, Eve, the finger spelling bumblebee, and Leon was also there. I was in Vancouver, Canada. Leon was there to give them a water unit as part of that grant. And so the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind received that. We had a presentation there via Zoom with help with Kurt and Emily with the World of Ability. So thank you so much. We have a 3-minute video that, again, we uploaded to the Kindness is Cool campaign as educators. And we want to multiply the acts of kindness. So we have a press release also too. So we're getting excited to launch this. Again, World Water Day is March 22nd, 2025. It's a Saturday. So we're setting up interviews with Leon. He was on the Gold Coast magazine, and hopefully he'll be joining us the latter part of this podcast. And good things are happening. Also, I've created t-shirts to go with the characters. I've created a Shopify account, so we are working on that. And we are finishing up the book. I also was introduced a couple of weeks ago to Dave and the Unicorn Universe on a Zoom, and we had a follow-up call. And Dave and I talked about the Chandler Film Festival that's happening in a couple of weeks in Arizona. They have it every year, and how we can write a grant with some of his friends that are grant writers to bring my book series into animation movies. So that's where my next goals are, is to bring these books into animation movies, because no one has done that with sign language characters. And we have a soundtrack by Lucy Lynch in The Perfect Wave. And also there at the bottom is the Disability Channel. So part of that awesome foundation grant that I won, I hired Jay Stoyan from the Disability Channel, who hires persons with disabilities to interview me for the last 4 months last year. So what a great opportunity. I got to travel to Vancouver, and we also have the Aviscus games that are coming up. And good things happened last year. So now we need to get it out to the world. Also with that trip to Vancouver, my girlfriend Leslie Graham was also on our podcast. And she won an Emmy with Netflix as a makeup artist. And she is going to be pitching our books to the Netflix producers in the next couple of months. So we're very busy of dotting your I's and T's, but I know we got great products for ocean cleanup, anti-bullying. This book is for climate change, featuring Waterflow the Whale. And we have a YouTube channel, so you can learn the ASL finger spelling alphabets with Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab. In our first book called Underwater Acts of Kindness for Ocean Cleanup, we gave that book for free on military Christmas Day fundraiser from Zach Clayton in Santa Papa John. So we're out there, showing the products, showing how we care and what we can do to bring these books into the classrooms again. And there's Leon, so he'll be joining us. I know he's shipping water units to the Hopi Navajo when he comes and join us. And it was a great meeting with Dave from Unicorn Universe, because that's where the Hopi Navajo is in Arizona, and they love the ideas and concepts that we have to bring this book into animation filming. So that's what I've been up to, and wanted to share too. Uh, Gene, nice to meet you. I want to highlight Matt Harline. We haven't seen him in a while, but I introduced Matt to Dr. Ward, who was on our show a couple of months ago, whose daughter has CP and in a wheelchair. And Matt actually drew a portrait of her. So he's very talented. I don't know if Matt can bring that on. We haven't had him in a while to share some of his artwork, what he's been doing worldwide. So that's what we are up to. Nice to see you, Derek and Rudy. And I'd love to talk to you, Derek. It's tax time. I'm a person on a disability. I got my 1099, and I don't know if you can tell me yes or no. Do I apply? Things are happening. Rumors are out there that we're supposed to get an increase with some windfalls to help us through these winter months. So I'd like to set up a time with you, Derek, too, to discuss that with you and make sure that I file my taxes, that I can receive this additional income that will help us get through these next year of challenging inflation and heating bills. I just got my heating bill with the space heater. It's went up $50 extra a month. Wow. So I hope you guys are staying warm. I'm in San Carlos, Mexico. And February 1st, we're doing a fundraiser with the Parrot Heads who party with purpose. They've elected to get a water unit for a local school and orphanage here in San Carlos, Mexico. So again, we're paying it forward with the Acts of Kindness series. So I'll let everybody else come in and join us. So nice to see you, Matt. So let's see some of those artworks. Let's show Gene some of your amazing artworks. Tell us your story with Dr. Ward.
So there's a portrait of Paola, Dr. Ward's daughter, who she's in her 30s now, but cerebral palsy. And she's kind of nonverbal. She can make sounds, but she talks by looking at a little device. Yeah, you can't really see it on this small painting, but a little device like an iPad kind of a thing that hangs attached to her wheelchair so that she can tracks her eye movement. So if she looks at something, she can pick out from a menu what she wants to say. And that's how she communicates with people. I've had opportunity to paint a bunch of other children with rare disorders as well. I don't have them all ready to go up on a backdrop right now, but that's I've done that. Did that for a couple years and have got some good feedback on these paintings I've done for families.
Wow, that's very talented, Matt. And glad you're using this to, inspire people with your vision of how they are.
Yeah, it's awesome. So how are Rudy and Derek today? What's new in your
Eric's
guys'?
trying to figure out Red Note right now. Making, making the switch.
I don't think they're going to ban it. I really don't. I'd be surprised if they did. I think there's going to be some crazy last minute save. That's what I'm hoping for anyway.
I never was really on TikTok, so I don't mind the jump. And it's actually kind of funny here because it's a lot of you get to see how other people view us because there's a lot of comedy about Americans in here that I appreciate. So
Right. Always nice to get a different perspective.
yeah. No, it's actually I enjoy like watching or listening to the BBC for news
Mhm.
because it's it's definitely, not pure of bias, but it's also you get the perspective from a different country about
Yeah.
us and some of the silly stuff we think is not silly, but it's silly.
Yeah. I usually check news articles from at least 3 or 4 different countries on the same thing because I always like to see the difference. It's
Yeah.
quite fascinating, actually.
Yes, well, I wasn't really getting into it, but then a couple of people I did start following, and one is a hearing mom named Beth Cooper, with her son Cooper, who was born deaf with Worsinger syndrome, and they elected to get cochlear implants for him. So we are following his journey. And she is a hearing parent that has learned ASL sign language, is very involved in sharing her story and helping others and visiting Gallaudet University. And I sent Cooper. For October, Rabbit Acts of Kindness No Bully book with the sign language chicken and Harry the Hard of Hearing Rabbit. And they thanked me very much. So I've been in contact with them to join us on the World of Ability podcast, especially if TikTok is not going to be no longer. But I know there's other platforms and we've been in communication. So I see some of that stuff as a benefit and educational. And yeah, it's been kind of entertaining with people to, educate on different things and make aware. And I've invited them as well too yesterday. And we also had our host, Santa Papa John, on TikTok. So last year, he was reading stories to the children the last several months. And he was also promoting the Acts of Kindness series books and my coloring books. And he received complimentary folk Manus puppets from the company, such as a big sea turtle, what we call the General of the New Earth Army, as well as the horse. So it was a great opportunity for the World of Ability to have this team. We also have them on the website, and that website is www.actsofkindnessseries.com. And also, he was out reading books too through Zach Clayton's fundraiser during Christmas. So we, use the platforms for the positive way, and we'll see what happens. But it's been a great opportunity to network on some of this as well.
And Jean has an event coming up next Friday as well. Jean, you want to say anything about your event?
Absolutely, absolutely. As a leadership coach, one of the things is we are always, called to grow. And what time at the beginning of the year then to actually delve into what could be our gaps for growth. We really don't realize them until we delve into them. And that's a 90-minute time. It's a long time, but trust me, you're going to get a lot of work done because you're going to be a lot of self-reflection and just finding out, what are the gaps there that you're telling yourself sometimes, limiting beliefs sometimes. One thing good I like about gaps to growth is that, what, irrespective of what our ability is, uh, the call to growth is very inclusive. It doesn't define by people, doesn't define by boundaries. It defines you just by who you are. What was your calling really when you came on this earth? And how do you feel it? Because constantly our life reshapes that and constantly reminds us that this is, what we want to do. This is what we want to be. This is who we want to be. This is how we want to impact. Could be nothing serious, could be extremely serious. Everything is good, right? But the call to growth is always universal in nature. And this is that time to delve into, what could be your call for growth this year. And if that's your case, if that's, something that interests you, then join me for the masterclass. Just, connect with me on LinkedIn and I will send you the link to register. There is no fee for it. So show up and be ready to work for 90 minutes on my Zoom link. That's all. That's my ask.
So, and there, next Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern.
That's yes, 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm based in Toronto and I wish I could turn the camera to y'all and it's all snowy and white and just It is what it is. You can see Derek's face, and it's just
There.
going to get more colder and more, over the next 3 to 4 days. Yikes. So you know what? We all will ride through it. We've all always ridden through the weather. Except for, things like what happened in LA right now. And though, those things are they're so much more, far reaching in terms of the impact that they have. But sometimes we can deal with a little weather like this and a little bit of cold, and we're like, okay, this is something we can deal with. But yes, it's 10 a.m. Eastern on Friday. And one of the things when we discuss about growth is we'll also realize how much independent it makes us. Because when we develop that growth mindset, it can lead to greater independence for us and empowerment for, our circumstances. So it'll help you have tools to say, how can I make more confident decisions and take more control in my own personal growth, right? And it also helps you improve, your perseverance, because when you realize it's a growth gap, then it helps you just to stay and persevere more, if that's what that's your calling, that's what you truly want. So a little bit about, so just sharing a little bit of that. And then definitely more coming on Friday. Back to you, Emily.
So yeah, I see Matt put your link to see more paintings. So Siri,
I just want to point out
Yep.
it's
oh
60 degrees here in Arizona and not a cloud in the sky.
Nice.
We're hoping we'll survive this harsh winter.
yeah, thank you, Derek.
Derek, it's coming. There is an Arctic cold front that's coming across the United States, all 50 states, they're predicting. So bundle up. I'm getting ready down here in San Carlos, Mexico, and we're 6 hours south of here. I was on the water last week, but that Arctic blast is down here making a bone chill. Even though it's 60 degrees, 70, I'm going on 70 right now. It's still cold wind, Arctic air. So, yeah. So, Gene and Matt too. I know we haven't been in communication for a while, so I want to highlight again that anybody can go on Awesome Foundation to apply for $1,000 grant. They give $1,000 away a month to projects. It was 15 minutes it took me to apply. Tell us about your awesome project. How are you going to use the money? Well, we gave books to the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind. My author copy costs $150 for a water unit from Clean Water Foundation. And I used that $500 to hire Jay Stoyan, the Disability Channel out of Toronto, to interview me. And he also posted the books and everything. And I acquired 500 people to my website. And we created a press release and that we are sending out to other schools. I'll be contacting the other 49 schools for the deaf and blind to say, hey, this is what we did. This is how easy it is. And we got a video. Emily and Kurt were kind enough to videotape us live while Leon was in the school with the assistant principal and a fill-in hearing principal. I was on Zoom because I was not in Hawaii. I was traveling back from Vancouver, Canada. And we have a 3-minute presentation of it. And again, we uploaded to Ging Gang World, and we're manifesting that we received the $10,000 award to get a New York billboard because the Kindness is Cool campaign. And guess what? Our 4th book is ready to launch on World Water Day, and it's called Cool Acts of Kindness. So raising the vibes up there. So again, Awesome Foundation, they have different states, they have different chapters with disability on the water. And I uploaded 5 pictures of myself and Leon and the coloring books, which they loved. And Minnesota contacted me back and wanted to know more about the coloring books. So again, you guys check it out. It takes 15 minutes to apply. And again, that's Awesome Foundation grant. And Jean, I just sent you information to meet with you Thursday. And I'm looking forward to your program on Friday. So everybody sign up. get the word out for everybody on this amazing opportunity to take advantage. Also, next week, I sent it to Kurt. I can send it to you. They have a breath work for speaking. It's an hour and a half every day to be a better speaker and to use your breath work. So we'll get that information out to you as well, and that's a free weekly. So there's good things to improve us as speakers to be on this podcast, and also to JV Directory also. So it's a great way to improve, kind of like a Toastmasters here. That's what we're all about, so that we can improve and be better at what we do and get it out into the world. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Awesome. On that note, with that great shout out, I've saved the chat, so I'll be looking for y'all on LinkedIn and connecting with y'all, but I have to hop off. So nice meeting you, Derek, Rudy, Matt. Great paintings. In another chapter of my life, I wish I'd, painted, but so great paintings. And Emily, thank you so much for having me on. I know the
You're
good
welcome.
conversation will continue. That's great. And Marian, I look forward to our chat on Thursday and look forward to connecting more with you. Thanks for the information. I did look up and they have a Toronto chapter, so I'm going to check into that. But great people, thank you. And I look forward to bumping into y'all sometime at HNP or another networking. Thanks, Emily. Thanks, Kurt. Take care.
Sounds good. Thank you, Jean.
Bye-bye.
So, man, I'm not sure you've met Rudy or Derek yet. Not sure, Andrew.
I've met everyone here, fortunately.
Hmm?
We've crossed
to.
paths.
Yeah.
And then I try to avoid Rudy's path.
Don't be jealous of my cats. Come on.
Yes. My dream is to live on Rudy's desk and rub my butt in his face while he's on camera, just like his cats.
Oh, jeez.
Speaking of, don't sit on top of the computer like this one. Goofball. She always sits on top of the computer, right on top of the vent, and I'm like, "You're gonna overheat the computer." She's like, "I don't care." I'm like,
That was my intention.
exactly.
You overheat yourself.
No, I've seen her. She's walked over to my surge projector, looked right at me, and she's like, "Hey, what happens when I press this button?" And she turns off the entire surge projector. And I'm like, "No!" She did that on a meeting once. And I was like, "Why is my computer off? Why is my internet off?" And I look over and I'm like, that's why. And I'm like, okay, you get pets while I reboot my computer and my internet and have to explain to people on the meeting why I just went poof. It's awesome. They keep me on my toes.
Yeah, I was actually on a one-to-one with someone, I think yesterday, where you could hear the cats fighting each other in the background.
Oh
I'm like,
no.
I've had cats. You can go take care of that. It's okay. You don't have to pretend the screaming in the background is not happening. Go attend.
And we have another one.
Oh,
Oh, that's pretty. Well,
So,
I gotta
Matt,
jump as well. Good to see
Same.
everyone.
Ah,
Oh, I will Facebook you the link, Marianne. We will get your tax situation taken care of. But yeah, I actually have to go do people's taxes right now. Boo.
fun.
woo.
But have fun, everyone. Have a great day.
Yeah. Take care, guys. Have a good one.
So, Rudy, what are some of your goals for 2025? Business
Oh,
goals.
I
Where are
have
you going to be around the world?
a few. I'm actually looking to help hospitals. That's a big thing that I can do this year. I'm really excited about. Have some pretty cool resources for them that could save them a boatload of money, which is always nice. And also, I can help. I just realized this day before yesterday, because I can help nonprofits. I can also help like animal rescues, like the ASPCA and whatnot. which is pretty cool. So I could basically help them find money and save money. So that's pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to doing that.
Well, I know that down here in San Carlos, they do a lot of fundraising for the SBCA. So I'll find out who's in charge, and you never know, I can pass that word over to
That'd be cool.
you. Also, I want to just share with you too. I met Robert with Treasure Island, and he's very passionate about my project. And while I was talking to him, I applied for a awesome foundation grant in Ohio, and we applied for $1,000 for the Rainbow Babies Children's Hospital. And what we would do with that $1,000 is give them a water unit, also books and coloring books, and out for their speech and hearing and audiology departments, as children who learn sign language tend to cry less and have a higher IQ. I kind of see this cosmetically changing those offices. And we applied for that. So we're hoping to hear back from them that we can do that in Ohio. So if there's other hospitals you have in mind, let me know, Rudy, and we can go on Awesome Foundation in that state and do the same kind of thing also,
Interesting.
to get $1,000 to gift them a water unit and the Acts of Kindness series books, coloring books, the Folk Madness puppets, or anything else that you can add to it as well. So let's set up a one-on-one and
That would
find
be a
out.
good idea. Let me get in my calendar. I'll have to put that up because yeah, that could be potentially awesome.
And Matt, there's an awesome foundation on disability. You should apply for it. Now, the Awesome Foundation with Disability, you do have to apply every month through the 1st and the 10th, but they highlight people and they give you $1,000 for your project, Matt. So put it out there. Even if your project is, what I'm saying is in Sonoma, California, because where you're going to be hosting your event can also help out with it as well. Okay. And,
Okay.
for example, they have On the Water, and they wanted to host a concert on the water. And people were gifted money. Up in San Francisco, they wanted to plant flowers outside this bus station, train station. And guess what? They got $1,000 to do that, to cosmetically change public places. So, man, I can brainstorm with you too. But there's different states. I know you're in California. Prayers for again, everybody there. Thank you to the sign language interpreters. They're doing double duty over there interpreting. My deaf friend is in San Diego. I contacted him last week and said, listen, if you need to get on a Tufesa bus, you come San Diego to San Carlos here. We'll pick you up. I have an extra bed in my room. I've talked to my landlords if necessary. If he needs to relocate, we have an apartment available for him as well. So a lot of people too, a shout out to all the sign language interpreters that are out there and helping the deaf community in California as well. But check it out, Matt. Awesome Foundation. There's a disability one. There's California. And yeah, share what your location of your event is going to be, and use that. Get that $1,000 in your pocket. And if you need art supplies, all this stuff, and then upload pictures of your paintings. Uh, you know, so it just takes about 15 minutes. And again, it's money out there. They want to give you money, and they're looking for projects. So Rudy will do something too with the hospitals and get that going.
Cool.
And
Cool.
what's your thoughts with the hospitals? What do you want to do? And is there a specific hospital that you're are dedicated to, or?
Any of them, because I have a really cool resource that could. I mean, I was kind of just looking into helping some of the local ones, but yeah, if I could go nationwide, that'd be cool. Because one of the solutions I have, a friend of mine who's doing this with me, he was telling me about someone who helped a hospital in, I think, Iowa with, I want to say it was just under 400 employees, and it was saving them, I want to say, about $700,000 a year. So that can be pretty impactful.
Yeah. No, everybody wins. So, and we also
Yeah.
have gifts to give too as well. And also too, Matt, what I found out too, I know you're going to be a new book author. Is this your first book or second book?
Second book.
Okay. What I was introduced to an author down here in San Carlos at the yacht club, and we went to the Navarrete Bilingual School to meet with the principal, and we showed our books to them because they're written in English and reading in English to them. She told me about Fussy Librarian, and what she said is, and which I did, Matt, October. I did it Halloween, a free download the week of Halloween as a sugar-free Tuesday treat. And I was made it available for the world to download my book for free just on that day. I did the same thing on Veterans Day. I did the same thing on Christmas Day with Zach Clayton's Christmas Miracle fundraiser for the military families. And Debbie Miller read the book. She shared it with her family as well, her deaf friends and family. And I'm going to be doing it again on World Water Day. A free download of our fourth book for climate change with Leanne McLaughlin, Clean Water, Cool Acts of Kindness. So, Matt, it's Fussy Librarian, and it depends on what your genre is. So, for the children's book, it cost me $25, and they post it worldwide so that people can read your book for free. And the idea is to set the buzz over to Amazon that you could be a best-selling author by ebook instead of regular print book where you have to have like 5,000, etc. So it's just something to think about, Matt.
Okay.
And then it cost me about $15 with Fiverr to create these flyers. And then she just puts in the different book and then the date and the title for me. So just another thing. So that was Veterans Day there. See that? And there's the Fussy Librarian. There's Amazon. We are featuring the General of the New Earth Army turtle, and which Santa Papa John has. And we did that Christmas Day there, same thing. Uh, and we're doing that on World Water Day. And I have to create a flyer for that. But those are just something to think about for your audience and a giveaway. And, get to be a best selling author.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, hey guys, I gotta run, but it was great being here.
Great to see you, Rudy. Let's connect.
Definitely, I put my calendar in the chat if you want to book a time on that. That'd be awesome.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
I'm going to need to take
Take care,
off too
guys.
pretty quick. But good to be with you again and talk with you and catch up with several of you. Thank you very much.
Sounds good. Thank you, Matt.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Great. So
So, Emily, could you be kind to play one of our songs as a intermittent break right now? Because we're starting on the next top of the hour. We have a song called Yes, I Can. And that would be a great opportunity to roll over into the next hour because this is very powerful. For we just had persons with disabilities that can say, Yes, I can. Here I am. And the song is by Lucy Lynch. And it is a song in our fourth book, Cool Acts of Kindness. And we have a raccoon in a garbage can sings that song, Yes, I Can. It's a very powerful song and also have the lyrics. And this is a great opportunity to take a break and have breath work here as we have new people that will be joining us for the last part of the hour. And we can learn more about the spirit of the game, Miss Emily.
well, we have Debbie here, so
That's great. We can still play the video, the music, and we can get set up here. It's part of my book, and we like to share the lyrics of the book with it because we are launching the book.
Welcome, Debbie.
Hello, everyone. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. So that's your Chiefs background.
Oh,
About the Chiefs Army.
yes. Sorry about that.
Oh no, no worries. I like it.
Oh, we have a game today, so have to cheer our guys on.
All right, so what's new with you, Debbie, in your world or Legal Shield world, and so on?
It's a great time to start getting those wills taken care of. A lot of people have new drivers on their in their family, so this is a good time to make sure they've got their Legal Shield memberships and then get all the family with the app on their phone so that even in emergencies, they can contact their attorney simply by pushing one button on their phone. Also a good time to start reevaluating the things that your small business needs and all of the ways Legal Shield can help protect your family and your small business and have that all taken care of and be ready for to thrive this year in 2025. And I know Mary Ann uses her Legal Shield app a lot, so that's always good to have.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Get all those contracts reviewed, keep up to date on exactly what all you're paying for with all those things. So that's important. And a lot of people did traveling, and with all the storms that we've had, there was a lot of cancellation. So I know some of our attorneys are going to be busy helping those families deal with those cancellations and helping their carriers actually provide the services that they said they were going to carry or do. So that's something else that our attorneys are really good at. And this is a good time of year to have it available.
It's important to have in case of an emergency or anything comes up.
Right. All kinds of things come up. It's not like I mean, they call them accidents for a reason. Things just seem to pop up, and winter is a time that a lot of things happen, whether it's you're in your home or out and about, whether you're traveling or even just driving to the store. Life seems to happen with all of our snow and cold up here in the north and even in Milwaukee area. You guys have plenty of cold, I'm sure, as well.
Yep, yeah, we do.
More than we have here. So I know Mary Ann gets to enjoy the nice warm temperatures, but it was only 50 in Arizona not long ago. So that's pretty chilly for them as well. So
Yeah, it's chilly down here. We're getting the Arctic blast, and there is weather reports that there is going to be a severe storms coming across all 50 states, United States. And so we are getting prepared down here as well. It is cold. The windshield comes through. I'm getting insulation on my windows. My heating bill went up $50 extra by using the space heater. So I'm being very, very conservative now. And my friend was over too. So just turning off the electric a little bit more, cooking. She's actually using her air fryer to warm up her apartment, and it seems to help. I'm
wow.
using a heating electric heater for my back, and that's keeping me warm. And so we decided to kind of cut off on the electric space heaters, but it's also a financial challenge for a lot of people worldwide and seniors and inflation. There's a lot of videos out there by educated people who have worked with Social Security, and Bernie Sanders Act has apparently been approved from Biden to help increase the financial support for seniors and people on SSI and SSDI to get through these challenging months, such as winter and skyrocketing food prices and inflation and electric bills, et cetera. So we hope that this all comes through. So there's some great YouTubes out there. Emily, I sent that to you last night. There's a gentleman that comes on. I believe he is somewhat blind. He goes by the Blind to Billionaire, but he is on now several times a day talking about different benefits for different groups for seniors, SSI recipients, SSDI recipients. So we hope that there's a windfall coming for everybody. And he also said to share those videos as well. So, Emily, I did send that to you yesterday. So those are things to research that we could possibly share here.
I'm
And
not sure. I'm
thank you.
not sure about that one because I tried looking it up and wasn't getting very far. And I saw it's a negative thing, so I'm not exactly sure about it, but we'll keep looking into it.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's a learning. And you know, Debbie, there are scammers out there. What I kind of was watching is if it's not a live person on there talking like a podcast. There's another guy too that worked. He has a PhD. I don't have his name, but if it's more of a AI generated kind of thing, I wouldn't believe it. It maybe seems to be a scam, and especially with these debit cards, sending people out, and which leads you to fill an application, which leads them to get the opportunity to take your information and run with it, or say you have to pay a fee to in addition to get this debit card, etc. So really kind of watching that, that these ones that are AI generated are most likely scams versus the real live person uh, that is has worked with Social Security, and especially this sorry, the blind man, his name, but it's great information to know what's happening and updated, especially with COLA and showing the calendars of when you are receiving your checks. There's a lot of misunderstanding when people hear that you can get double checks for the specific months. That doesn't mean you get two checks. What it means is because of the way the days of the week fall into that month, you may get that check early, the latter part of that month, which is really your check for the next month. So you got to be very, very careful of it. A lot of people think they're getting two checks, which you're not. You get one check once a month. Now we may have some windfalls. We're waiting to hear from that. And also the Fairness Act was approved for people who are working with the post office, teachers, firemen, police officers. They're entitled to some retro. So those are all things for people to look at too from being of service. So again, just want to kind of share that with you too also.
Well, lots of information, and I know the scammers are out there thick this time of year, getting a lot of emails from people that even things simple as we can't deliver your package because the address isn't correct when it's actually a scammer trying to get your information. So we have a lot of things to watch for and protect against. So I'm glad to have our identity protection as well as our legal attorneys to help us know what is what. It's been quite a crazy year already, and it's not even past January. So
And I kind of, don't get me wrong, I ordered Amazon Mexico down here anticipating the packages, and they said they were coming. They said they were coming, and then I don't get a phone call. And then they say they're going to refund my money. Well, I'm still waiting. And I call Amazon USA. They don't have a direct number to Amazon Mexico, so it's a separate entity. So I've had to call my bank to go, where's my refund? So lesson learned, I won't be doing it again. And not kind of like a New Year's resolution. If there's things online, I don't need it. I can find it locally, and I can find it at the thrift store and donate it back to the Goodwill or the community down here. It pays for the EMT salaries clinic behind it. So that's kind of my new rule of thumb. And not to go through that headache again. And I understand I'm an author trying to ship some products. When we shipped the books to the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind, Amazon was delayed. They had big issues in Hawaii, and lesson learned. Yeah, so those are just different things. Get everything cleared up, and check your bank statements and all that for additional charges. And it's a good housekeeping for the beginning of the new year as well, right, Debbie Miller?
That's
And
right.
get your will up to date, and your health, your checks, and we had a good time with talking with Nick Davis, who we met with Happy Neighborhood Projects last fall when we had to apply for Medicare updates. I helped my neighbor. He helped us get her an additional $100 a month increase in her Social Security, as well as we are applying for EBT uh, benefits for her as well. And it may take some time, but we're trying to do everything over the phone. She had broken a hip, and we appreciate the people helping us out. It may be a wait on the phone for them, but it was worth a while. So that she just thought, well, I have to go. I have to travel there. I have to go to in person. I said, you don't really have to do that kind of anymore. And due to COVID, offices are closed. We just have to sit here and listen to the nice jazz music, sit here and drink our coffee, and wait for the person to come on to answer those questions. And Nick Davis, again, too, introduced us to two other teammates, too, that did help us out with her. And I got clarity with my benefits as well in Hawaii. So again, this is great team and teamwork and happy neighborhood projects. So we have another friend here that comes in and joins us, Barbara from Florida. Hi, Barbara. Happy New Year. What
Happy New Year.
projects do you have going on for 2025?
Oh my goodness. My project is seeing myself and my family happy, more secure, and feeling safe in our homes, and feeling happy and well, and being able to be peaceful and at ease. Feeling safe. Yeah. That's my goal. That's my big goal.
Awesome. Good to have you.
Thank you. And building community, building health, building wellness, building fun things for people to look forward to.
Yeah.
Working with community.
Yeah. So how are things going on in Florida, Barbara? Like what's new?
Beautiful right now. It's like, I think like in the 70s. And, but there's a breeze, there's a brisk breeze. So it feels really good. It's New York, New Jersey, New Hampshire, New Brunswick, New Caledonia, New World. Yeah.
I think I heard that Florida might even, some of it, get a little snow this next week. So
Oh my goodness.
that might be interesting for Florida people.
Yeah, upstate Florida, that's happened before, I know. Mhm. Any ch-
Upstate Florida is kind of like upstate New York kind of
Ye-
thing.
Yeah, yeah. Upstate, I used to live upstate New York, and sometimes we would get snow that we couldn't open the front door, because the snow went up so high that we couldn't push it out of the way to open the door.
Yeah, my back door was that way with this last snowstorm we had. Wasn't
Mhm.
clear up this door, but it was up enough that it wouldn't let the door open. So,
And I loved it to go outside and build an igloo. Got to do that year, I remember.
oh yeah, we had a few igloos around here. So,
Mhm.
not my favorite season, but they look cute. And the snow was pretty as long as I was inside mostly. So,
Ah, yeah. Sledding's
Emily,
fun. Yeah.
it's a good time to make sure you stay healthy. Take all
Mhm.
your vitamins and supplements and all those other things. So,
I think I remember my grandma, my mom telling me that, like, they were like in Poland, Germany, and they would say that the peasants' children that were running around outside and didn't always have shoes on were much healthier than the, more aristocratic kids that stayed inside and had all their, clothes on to stay warm. That they
mm,
would see those kids were the healthier kids, the ones playing outside, and being in nature, not being so protected. Let's see what the weather says for. Okay, it's 79 right now here. So that's nice.
that sounds pretty nice to me.
Mm. But
Emily, don't you think
Wednesday,
79 would feel really nice?
yeah. But Wednesday, it might go all the way down to 58, and there might be rain. And Tuesday,
Um,
it would be just 66, but the high would be in the 70s.
Hmm. My
76.
friends in Wyoming and Montana are excited because they don't have to worry about wildfires and mosquitoes. There's too
Mm.
much snow on the ground for the wildfires, and there's obviously too cold for mosquitoes, so they're all pretty excited.
Sounds good. Sounds like a good way to, frame what's happening, right?
Yeah, got to look for the positive things when you're looking at the bottom half of the or below the zero on our Fahrenheit thermometers. So,
Where are you right now?
I live in Kansas City, and we are sitting at 20, with
Mm.
feels like 5 or 6 degrees outside. So,
Wow.
not exactly warm. And we have a football game coming on in an hour, so
Mm.
going to have a stadium full of people that are going to be pretty frozen to the bone, I'm thinking. So,
Have to do a lot of cheering, jumping up and down and cheering, right?
right,
On
lots of
television.
jumping up and down. Yeah. I'm I'm not sure I would want to catch the football as somebody threw it, because no matter how soft it went, I'm thinking as cold as it is, it would feel like it was a hard ball. So
Mhm.
Well, Debbie, I was following up with the Kansas City this morning. We were watching one of the playoff games. Are you talking about Kansas City today, or are you talking about college football?
no, I'm talking about Chiefs football. It starts at 3:30 Kansas City time. So
Oh, today?
yeah,
Okay. All right, I'll put that on. And
yeah, we're
yeah, we'll
playing
watch.
we're playing the Houston something. I don't know what
It's
Houston
Kansas City time,
Texans. The
1 hour
Texans.
below Eastern Standard Time, or 2 hours below.
No, I'm in Central Time, so in 1 hour from now, the football
It
game
would be like
starts.
it'd be like 4:30 your time, Barbara,
Ah.
and
Mm.
2:30 Marianne's time.
Mhm.
So Barbara, I wanted to share with you, I haven't talked to you. July, I won the Awesome Grant Foundation Award. And they gave me $1,000 in Oahu, Hawaii.
Yeah,
And
you definitely earned it. You definitely
we
deserved it.
gifted the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind in October, anti-bullying month. We gave them a water unit with Leon
Mhm.
McLaughlin. He went actually to the school. I was still traveling from Vancouver.
Mhm.
And thank you, Kurt and Emily, for doing a live video with Leon doing a presentation with the sign language interpreter there, the deaf assistant principal, and the hearing stand-in principal. We presented the Acts of Kindness series books for October, anti-bullying, and the coloring books. And we're going to be following up with them this month because we had shipping delays with Amazon and I was not there. But again, Emily and Kurt were able to videotape it. We made a 3-minute clip of it to upload to Kindness is Cool campaign. And we hope that we win a $10,000 award from them because we are promoting our 4th book now is ready to launch on World Water Day, and it's called Cool Acts of Kindness, featuring another 10 puppets and with Leon. And so we got good projects that are happening in 2025. And we also have a press release, so we want to multiply that and get that out to other schools to let them know how easy it was to take 15 minutes on Awesome Foundation. Anybody can do it. Tell us about your project. How will you use the funds? Uh, and upload photos. And they love to give $1,000 away every month. So you may
So
want
you
to
would
share.
Google, I would Google Awesome Foundations.
Yep. And it's
And
a nice website. There's different states. There's a disability channel,
Mhm.
our chapter. You have to apply for that the 1st through the 15th every month. And I suggested Matt Harlane apply for that. And there's On the Water also too. So like doing a concert or something, they love to give $1,000 away. So go out and play. And
Yes.
that's what we did. And we're doing a fundraiser here in San Carlos with Leon and the Parrot Head group. They party with purpose. They have like to fundraise for charities. So they're going to be February 1st. They're having a home party with a band to raise $150 for a water unit for an orphanage or a school here in San Carlos, Mexico. So
Nice.
again, we can multiply it. And I've applied for other different states too, with the books and the coloring books, and a hospital, Rainbow Babies in Ohio, with Robert to do the same thing. Get a water unit, get the books and coloring books. Same thing with the veterans hospitals. Yeah, so we're kind of want to get that out there so everybody can apply. Denise Vargas too with her products. People go, well, where would I do it? Well, tell them you want to get your author books and copies and the puzzles, and you want to go to a senior citizen center for on a Sunday, fun day, and educate them. And yeah, same thing with veterans. So we were working with Zach Clayton too. So again, that's Awesome Foundation grant. And thank you, Debbie. For downloading our book. Barbara, I found out I'm giving free downloads of the books from Fussy Librarian. We did
Nice.
that on Veterans Day and Christmas for the military families. We're going to do that on World Water Day again. So Debbie was so kind to do that and share with her families. What were your thoughts about the book so far, Debbie? Underwater Acts of Kindness.
Well, it's a great book and it's got a lot of sign language in it, so it's fun to review and for me. And I know trying to get it into a couple of schools that I'm connected with, deaf schools and even just private Christian schools. So that'll be a fun project for me to help get it spread word.
So who is your favorite character in the book, Debbie?
I guess I like, oh dear, forgot his name. Um,
Noah the hard of hearing whale? Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab?
the one with doing the alphabet. Is that the
Dr.
crab?
Fingers. Dr. Fingers. A
Yeah,
YouTube channel.
Dr. Fingers is fun.
So you can learn it on YouTube as well. And we also have the coloring book with them. And I just got to view the coloring books. I got them sent to me to a sailor friend in Tucson who brought them down. So I'm actually able to see the copies of the books. And Barbara, we had Santa Papa John on TikTok reading books to children during the holidays. And he's on our website, actsofkindnessseries.com. So we had a great social media marketer, influencer, Santa Papa John. So we want to continue doing the fun activities in 2025. And Emily, you want to tell us about the Invictus Games in Vancouver? A lot of athletes are going to be getting ready to do all these amazing sports and competition. And Jay Stoyan, the host of the Disability Channel out of Toronto, is going to be involved. What are the dates of these events? Who are the athletes? What are the games? Tell us more so we can follow them.
So I believe it is February 8th through the 16th, in Vancouver in the Whistler area. And it was started by Prince Harry, I believe 2014. And they've had the games at different places. Like I think they've had it over in like Dusseldorf, Germany. They've had it in other places as well. It's like the Olympics, but for injured and wounded veterans. And so yeah, it should be a good time. But I do see that we have Mark Lockenberg here as well as Leon. So welcome, guys.
Hey, how's it going, Emily?
Good. How are you, Leon?
I'm hanging in there, hanging in there. Everything's going great.
Yeah, hi, Emily.
Kate, are you back there? Moment.
I would like to get these books to you. It's a place around me called the Caring Place. And a lot of the children who came through the Mexican border without parents who were separated from parents, supposedly there's like 100 kids that are staying there. And I'm trying to get somebody in my area, to drive there with me. But yeah, it would really be nice to send them some of your books, send them some of what you're doing. Marianne, yeah, I'd like to make that happen.
Yeah, well, let's set up a time, Barbara. Put a email in there, and Leon is joining us. Leon, hi, welcome. I was just sharing with Barbara. She was a teacher, being of service, and I have been sharing the awesome Grant Foundation Award that I received in July. You went out to the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind and gave them a water unit. I'm scheduling a follow-up visit, but Leon, you want to share with us about your experience being at the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind, using an interpreter, and how this impacts the island of Oahu with the Red Hill and the Navy contamination that affected over 100,000 people and families in the military by not having clean, fresh drinking water. You want to share with us, Leon?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, that was a unbelievable, great trip. And I'll actually be going back there on Thursday to Hawaii, putting together this fundraiser that we're going to be working on. But yeah, the School for the Deaf and the Blind was totally amazing with the interpreters. Mariana was the one, she was the donor that donated that unit for the school. We had the manufacturers kick in where that was normally a $600 dollar unit for $150. And not only that, the filter was a special filter that takes out viruses and contaminants. That filter would normally cost you like $250 to replace, and the manufacturers is giving it to us for $50 just to help out, and they get a tax write-off because we're a 501c3. So we were glad that we had the manufacturers work with us on designing that filter that works like a UV light that takes out viruses, contaminants. So that's great. Even pharmaceuticals in the water. So like Marianne had said, when they had that spill in their water, and they talked about that when I was there, for that school to be able to have the children have clean, fresh drinking water and not drink the contaminated water was totally amazing. And not only that, when I was at the Waikiki Yacht Club later that evening, telling the story about what Mariana had did, they had some coffee farmers there that was members of the Waikiki Yacht Club, one of the biggest coffee farmers in Hawaii, with the Kona coffee, said that they want to get involved because they didn't even know it was a school for the Hawaii deaf and the blind, and that they want to get involved, and they were really happy and excited on what we did. And now we're going to be looking at doing a fundraiser at one of the restaurants they just bought that's next to the Hawaiian Hilton Village in Waikiki in the Ilokai Hotel. So I'll be out there Thursday. We're trying to get a date in November to do this fundraiser for Water for Children, that the funds will go for purchasing more water units for children in schools in Hawaii, and especially out there on them farms in those remote areas, to get them clean water, and for the Hopi and Navajo Reservation in Arizona, who we're working with also. So what an amazing trip. And like I said, it ended up for me so well that I'm coming back out there on Thursday.
Awesome, Leon. And I want to share with you an exciting opportunity we had a couple of weeks ago. Kurt and Emily had me join in to, it's called Unicorn Universe. And most of them are in Arizona. And I talked about you and the Hopi Navajo, and they want to meet you. And I got to talk to Dave for a good hour and share the story of our fourth book, which will be launching soon for World Water Day. It's called Cool Acts of Kindness. How cool is that? Featuring Waterflow the whale, with you in this picture here right now that I have on my screen. And they're interested in helping us find a grant writer that they work with. They are part of the Chandler Film Festival that happens every January, will be happening in a couple of weeks. So Dave also acquired a hearing loss in the military, and he was really passionate, tears of joy when I was telling him and sharing the stories. So they really want to help us out to bring our book, Cool Acts of Kindness, into animation movies and a budget. And Suzanne Sims, my writer, and I are editing next week. We're getting back into it. Lori Barth will want to meet you. She contacted me yesterday. She's our editor. And I want to highlight her. She turned 65 and she ran the marathon, so she couldn't meet you in November, but she does want to meet you. And she just saw Andy and he's doing well. So I know that these people are there to support what we're doing. And we got the movement and the uplift to bring these books into animation movies. And also my trip to Vancouver, our good friend Leslie Graham, that knows Andy, the singer in Hawaii, who's also a reverend and does amazing musical work with the children over there and other events, a big awards winner singer. And when I was up in Vancouver and being interviewed with Toronto with the Avixis Games and Jay Stoyan talking about the Acts of Kindness series, Leslie was up there, so she joined us on the World of Ability podcast, and I got to see her after years. And she won the Emmy on the Netflix Shogun for a makeup artist. And she has connections to the Netflix producers. And she is a Canadian goose in her second book, Rabbit Acts of Kindness, who's friends with Harry the Hard of Hearing Rabbit, which was my deaf friend, and me. And so we are working, Lori and Suzanne and I were going to be working on writing a pitch with our intellectual property attorney, Dr. Liddy, to Leslie to bring them directly to the producers. And her other colleague friend has a sister is a sign language interpreter up there in Vancouver. So the universe is putting us all in sync for 2025 goals. And I'm so excited to share that with you. And they want to learn more what we're doing with the Hopi. And we're going to shoot that we get to this book into an animation movie for next year's Chandler Film Festival in Chandler, Arizona. So good things are happening, raising the bar, raising the vibrations. And so go out and play is our tagline.
Exactly. It couldn't be better.
Mhm.
And for what you're doing in Mexico too, Mariana, because we're going to be putting water units there. And we're going to be gearing up for the World Water Day. So World Water Day going to be amazing. We're also connecting up with farmers out of El Salvador, Panama, Colombia, Kenya, Ghana, and we got this new thing called Coffee for a Cause. I'll send you the latest links that American Airlines nonprofit airline ambassadors just put out about our latest deal from when I was in Vegas connecting up with some unbelievable singers. One of them is David Osborne. He's played for 7 different presidents at the White House. He just did Jimmy Carter's funeral. He's been all on the news. I'll send you a link on that. He's going to be joining us when we do our Hawaii concert. And we also got some great artists out of New Zealand that the Rolling Stone magazine just did an article on, Lisa Crawley. I'll send you the information on that. So working together works, and we're putting this whole team together. So like I said, for World Water Day, we're going to make an unbelievable great impact for our projects in Hawaii and what Mariana's doing in Mexico and for children around the world. Now that we got our new partners, the coffee farmers that's in those countries, and even in Hawaii, like I said, Hawaii, El Salvador, Panama, Colombia, Kenya, Uganda. So we got a powerful team going right now. And especially with our new deal doing Coffee for a Cause. And it'll be water for children around the world. So we got brand new partners, which is awesome.
Awesome. And I also wanted to share with you last week, I went out on a boat cruise with the Parrot Heads, the president, Lorianne Outley. It was her birthday. And I don't know if you're familiar with parrots. The Parrot Heads are, I guess, in different states. They come together, they say party with a purpose. To get together and have home parties and concerts, but they raise awareness for environmental organizations. And Lorianne told me last Saturday on the boat that they have selected Clean Water Foundation for their next concert, February 1st, to fundraise for a water unit for either a school or a orphanage down here. So we're moving forward to be your ambassador with bringing these water units worldwide. And again, everybody else can do that worldwide. Leanne, can you tell us how to host a fundraising event? What do we have to do? And it seems like it's really pretty easy. And $150 for a water unit is not that much.
Yeah, you're exactly right. When you look at $150, I mean, imagine we got the manufacturers that those units would normally cost 600 to say, you know what, we want to be a part of this. We get a tax write-off. Let us put together a $600 water unit, a replacement filter that would normally cost $250. Let us cut it down to 150 because we want to give back. And what you're doing is amazing. And also to say the replacement filter is 50. That's normally a $250 filter. And the good part is that filter is a special made, custom made filter that takes out contaminants and viruses. Normally, you would have to have a UV light in order to take out the viruses and then the filter for the contaminants. We've developed a filter that takes out viruses and contaminants, and it only costs $150 for the unit with the filter, and the replacement filter $50. So what we've been doing for fundraising is we've talked to a lot of artists, and it's great local artists out there. I've booked shows all over the world. I used to do all the booking for the Paramount Theater. We started Madonna off on her first tour. We booked The King and I. We did Broadway musicals, plays. I've also done the marketing for the Seattle Repertory Theater, where we had Tony Award-winning plays. But it's so much local talent out there. We got a magician, actually, that performs in Cabo, and he's amazing. His name is Sterling, the magician. He's won the youth
Ian, are you
competition.
still there?
I'm still there, but I got to come back because the attorney is calling me on putting the coffee deal together. So I'm going to come back and join you guys.
Okay, great. So that will give Emily
All right.
enough time to share our music by Lucy Lynch for our book, Cool Acts of Kindness. And we have videos made with the water flow, the whale, to show as trailers to show our vision to bring these into animation movies. So we look forward to having you come back. I want to hear about your Vegas trip with my friend Bob from the Unity Church of Hawaii, and a Waikiki yacht member too, that you got to meet in Las Vegas. So we are networking. We're doing great work.
Yes.
So Mark, what do you think of all this, or it's on, or would you like to say about what your background is about?
Oh, well, okay. I'm actually, I think it's pretty fascinating what the people here are all doing. I have heard Leon before, and talk about his clean water project. But well, my background, I do that for the 12 o'clock shakedown group, just more or less a conversation piece, I guess. Those are some of the holidays today: Winnie the Pooh Day, Peking Duck Day, and National Gourmet Coffee Day, and National Thesaurus Day behind me. And then the people pictured are some musicians who have birthdays today. Well, up in the corner, that is Tom Bailey. He is one of the Thompson twins, that group. And down below is young Bobby Goldsboro from back in the day, sang the song Honey. And the guy back up on top in the yellow shirt is DJ Quick. He's a rapper. And down below him is David Ruffin. He is a soul musician and was the lead singer for The Temptations. My Girl is their biggest hit. So it's just something for a little conversation after.
Awesome. Let me see. Kurt, are you back there? Please, you're not. So yeah, everybody is welcome to the 12 o'clock shakedown. Which it's 12 o'clock here in Central Time. And so I can get the link if anybody is interested. since we're in Zoom, and then live stream out to like Facebook, YouTube, and so on. And so we are getting.
May I ask Mark real quickly that's the song that went, my girl, my girl, my girl, talking about my girl. That's the song you're talking about.
One.
Yeah, that's pretty famous. Sorry to interrupt you, Emily. I just want to do a reality check.
So we are getting down close to our end here.
So Emily, could you be kind to set up Love is the Only Way to
Yeah,
end this podcast?
give me a few minutes and play that as the last thing.
Yeah, what a great song.
And Barbara, there is lyrics, and you can karaoke with your grandchildren. It is a song written by Lucy Lynch, and she has been the singer for all the Acts of Kindness series books. And it's very upbeat, and we are going to be celebrating World Water Day. So we want to be sharing these songs with you throughout the podcast this year.
That's so,
So-
great.
Oh, go ahead, Barbara.
Oh, and the podcast would say Ability Now podcast.
Well, this is the World of Ability podcast on Saturdays.
Got it.
So yes, Barbara, I was able to make 2 trailer videos with Waterflow the whale, swimming in the ocean with the water units, and meets Robo Motivation, who rolls around to bring the water units worldwide, especially to an ostrich named Rich. And we have a song, Rich and Radiant. So these are all songs as part of the vision to bring these books into animation movies with Leon McLaughlin. And we also have the logos on the back of the books. And again, we'll be downloading the book for free on World Water Day, a free ebook. So we got lots of good things that are happening this next quarter, as well as the Avixis games in Vancouver. So we need to find out who these athletes are, support them. I know they have a Facebook page. So we got lots to do in the next couple of weeks, and follow them up in Vancouver with Jay Stoyan from the Disability Channel.
I love how you stay on top of it.
As they're kind of finding up here, how about we you're on Zoom, anybody have any go around and if anybody has any like last words, comments, questions, and so on. So Mark, do you want to kick us off? Any last comments, questions, anything you'd like to say? Oh, you're on mute, Mark.
Just something, and to be given some homework.
Okay, could you run that by me again, Emily?
Do you have any like last comments or anything before we kind of end here?
Well, I hope everyone has a good day and remains in good health.
Yeah, awesome. Barbara?
Yeah, I'm just
Barbara, do
feel
you have any
grateful.
last things you'd like to say here?
I feel grateful to be here again. I feel really grateful. And and, you know, would like to be more helpful to just admire what people are doing here, what they're making happen. You know, with clean water for children and these books that are wonderful. And yeah, I would love to be able to get help with someone in my area to bring these books to the children at the Caring Place, which is an orphanage for these children that have come over the border, especially anyone who can speak Spanish.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Do you have any of the books translated into Spanish yet?
No, it is on a to-do list. I talked to Kurt.
Mhm.
We had conversations with Alex Hilt and the Discovery, the Great Discovery, to translate the books into 100 different languages.
Yeah.
Our books have a lot of characters in there, so there was just a lot of they came out new with the program. So Kurt and I will be talking with them next month to see where we're at in regards to translating our books
Okay.
into 100 different languages.
Wonderful.
Marianne, do you have any last comments or anything before we end here?
Well, thank you again, Emily, Kurt, and Sue, for hosting this World of Ability podcast every week. Everyone can visit www.actsofkindnessseries.com. Christian Mendez from EC Marketing has updated the website with new clicks, and that will take you to Donors Choose, where all classroom teachers in the United States of America can receive copies of the books and the Folk Manus Puppets. Also takes you to the YouTube channel where you can learn the ASL fingerspelling alphabet, as well as you can go to the Apple App Game. So, Barbara, there are the list of the characters on YouTube. There is no sound, but they teach the 26 letters of the ABC alphabet. Now we have the coloring books to go with them in the books, as they are the leading characters. And I'm also created a t-shirt line too, especially starting with Leon. And we have a Shopify account in development. Again, my whole team is in Pakistan. They're Fiverr Graphics. We put prayers out to them as they have been having to relocate due to flooding or hurricanes. So grateful that they can help continue the project. I also did apply for Awesome Foundation over there in Pakistan to get water units for them and to post their good works as they've created all this colorful work. So we're doing as much as we can. And again, Leon is going to be in Hawaii discussing a fundraiser. And we also have the Parrot Head group, Party with a Purpose, house party concert on February 1st to bring a water unit down here to a school and an orphanage. And again, we'll be having the book available on World Water Day. So great things are happening. Thank you, Emily. And again, if you could be kind to play Lucy Lynch, Love is the Only Way, to end this amazing podcast, to put everybody up in good spirits, and to hear the soundtrack, because you are the good news and you are its messenger, and you need to share this with the world. Aloha, I'm Marianne of Waikiki. Mahalo.
Back to Marianne, Mark, Barbara, Derek, Rudy, Matt, Jean, whoever else came on today, and who everybody who has tuned in. And I encourage everybody to check out all of our social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and so on. And like, share, subscribe, comment, to help spread the word and everything here. And as always, everybody's welcome to join us as a guest. So please let us know if you're interested. You can call or text me at 608-886-9801. And I can anything, comments, questions, someone can get that taken care of. And again, we are here every Saturday at 1 o'clock Central. And so I encourage everybody to check out projects some of the other people we're working with. There's Showing the Disability Channel, Zach Clayton of the PEC Channel, Lawrence Wingate of Renegade Studios, Marcus Hart of Transform U, and Earl Williams of the Midwest Plans and Podcast that they're doing. But until next time, hope everybody has a safe and productive week. And this so we'll end this there.
Okay, love is the only way.
Here it goes.
All right, here we go, Barbara. Let's sing along. Your grandchildren will love it.
Love is the only way. Love is the only way. Love is the only way. Take a breath. Let it be alright. Take a breath. Let it be enough right now. Let this moment be what it is. Let this moment be your doorway to bliss. Seeking love, 'cause it's seeking you. Seeking light, 'cause light